afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our show. I'm Debbie, and my son Zachary, who's sitting in the back, is 10 years old. Now, when my husband and I decided to have a second child, I had very clear ideas about what I wanted. I wanted a boy, because I already had a girl. I wanted him to be healthy. I wanted him to have a real warm and engaging personality. I wanted him to eat well, because his sister before him was very picky. And I wanted him to be handsome. Okay. So, when my baby was born, and I looked at him, and all things checked out, I was ecstatic. And 20 months later, when he was diagnosed with autism, my whole universe shifted. Not for long, because there's no time to lose. I see Dr. Samson at the back, and she allowed me to cry in her office for about 3 minutes. And that's all the time I had to cry, because there's been no time to cry since then. So I started out on a race, and I thought that this could be a sprint. That if I came out, got a good start, came out of the blocks, executed, like the athletes say, I'll be crossing the finish line soon, triumphant, victorious. But very soon I realized this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. And so I had to change my strategy, because not only was it a marathon, but it was a marathon with hurdles that would just pop up unexpectedly along the way. And then in addition to that, I had to ask other people to run this marathon with me. So I had to get my family, my wider family, my friends to support me. Many got on track willingly, rolled up their sleeves and started running. Some of them stayed on the sidelines and cheered. Some ran off the track early, some never got on the track at all. But they're all part of the mix. In terms of the hurdles that I saw along the way, I think primarily when he was youngest, his safety and security was always such a concern. Less so now as he has matured. But as you know, children with autism tend to wander, and so I was always afraid to take him to wide open places such as this. And we developed strategies as a family that could rival Hawkeye and all the other security companies. Without the benefit of closed circuit TV, we did really well keeping him intact. And after I can share some of those tips with you. So safety and security was a big hurdle to begin with. Next big hurdle was getting him to school, because a lot of schools would just say no when you call. No, we don't take those children. What are those children? And when I would challenge them, you'd be appalled at the answers you would get. And then, when you found a school that was willing to take your child, then you have to wonder, is this a good fit? Do they know what they're doing? Are they just taking my money and not going to really do anything? So those are some of the challenges along the way. And I think to this day, the school environment remains a challenge, because even though things have improved remarkably, I don't think that the classrooms are well equipped to deal with the behavioral problems that our children sometimes exhibit. But despite that, we soldier on. The race is on, the marathon is going, and I'm still running. What's next? What are the next hurdles I'm thinking about? Puberty is coming up. Secondary schooling is coming up. Gotta keep running. The good thing about a marathon, though, is that you have time. You have time to re-strategize. You might have to up your pace, slow down your pace, shift gears. You even have time to refresh yourself along the way. If you think about a marathon, there are always people along the sidelines giving us bottles of water. So there's a way that we can refresh ourselves along the way, and that's good, because our children need that, need us to be refreshed. And if you think about the classic stages of a marathon, to use that analogy, you have your start, then you have your stage where you're pacing yourself. Then you have your next stage where you hold on and establish your rhythm. And then you dig deep and get to the finish line. Well, in this marathon, there might not be a finish line. But that is okay. So, what has my son taught me? My son has taught me several things, and I'm grateful to him for that. First of all, he has taught me to truly take one day at a time. We all say we're going to do that, but we don't really, do we? But my son has taught me to enjoy every single moment, cry when I need to, be sad when I need to, celebrate when I need to, one day at a time. He has also taught me that he's okay today, that I don't have to wait until he's fixed and perfect to love him. He's perfect today. And so I'm grateful to him for that. And I think my son has made me a better parent, a better citizen of the world, even better as a professional at what I do. And so I'm grateful to him for that. But the biggest lesson my son taught me is that God doesn't make mistakes. Because when I look at him now, he's healthy. He eats most things that I throw at him. He has the warmest, most engaging and loving personality. And guess what? He's even handsome. And you know what, guys? I got exactly what I asked God for. Thank God for Zachary.